You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, B&B fans, it is time for our early weekly spoilers edition for July 22nd through 26th. We are going to see Sheila Carter thoroughly scapegoated and Brooke Logan is worried sick. We are going to dive into all that, but as we always do on our early weekly spoilers day, we start by talking about what's happening the rest of this week. And of course, you're listening to Belynda at Soap Dirt. We're going to dive into the action coming starting on Wednesday, July 17th, 2024. So some clue goes missing, some piece of evidence. And that is part of what triggers Deputy Chief Baker of the LAPD to go over to Sheila and Deacon's apartment with questions and to take her downtown for questioning. Dan Martin is back as the deputy chief. I always enjoy his work, but at the same time, the LAPD is not exactly, a bunch of deep thinkers on this soap opera. And it looks like it's down to Steffy and Li Finnegan, who are pressuring the LAPD and insisting Sheila is the double murderer. Clearly, she is being set up. We saw Hollis looking through some letters from the backpack. And if you don't remember, I looked back because I was struggling to remember what all he had said. And he said that he had written letters to Poppy and they were returned. I think he has hung on to those letters, which show a direct line between Poppy and Tom, tracing back 20 years, around to the date of conception. So the question is, I know a lot of people are very insistent that they think Bill really is her dad. And I think because we want him to be her dad, but all of this is aligning to look very, very bad for those paternity results. But we'll see how it goes. Thursday, July 18th, 2024 on Bold and the Beautiful. Steffy and Finn confirm their love and devotion to each other. However, I don't think he is going to like Steffy and Li acting like angry villagers with torches and pitchforks coming for his biological mother, Sheila. Of course, he's in this position where he can't say a whole lot to Li and Steffy, but do you know who he can talk to? He can talk to Hope Logan. And this next spoiler I'm going to tell you about, it's from the promo. I don't have a specific date for it, but I feel like it is either coming Thursday or Friday, where Hope is going to make a move on Finn, tell him that she is into him, and he's going to tell her, not cool, you can't talk like that. But she insists that a girl has a right to dream, and that's gonna make him uncomfortable, I think, and rightly so. But then again, he does think Hope is his friend, and she is someone he can talk to, and he definitely needs somebody to talk to about this Sheila stuff. Meanwhile, Brooke Logan is very worried about Hope's fixation on Finn and whether her daughter is going to ruin Steffy's marriage and start an upheaval in the ongoing Forrester versus Logan war that has been raging for decades. Friday, July 19th, 2024, we are going to end the week with Liam Spencer having scenes. He may have some scenes on Thursday as well, but definitely has some scenes on Friday with Finn. And Finn is once again telling Liam, "Butt out of my marriage. My wife, Steffy, is not your business." I'm guessing that Liam thinks what's going on with Sheila gives him the right to step in and run his mouth. Steffy talks to Hope on Friday and lays out some ground rules. She again tells her, stay away from my husband. And I don't think she sees her as a relationship threat unless Finn tells her that Hope has a crush on him, which I think would be a whole lot of fun. And I think she's also going to lay out some ground rules at the office as well for her expectations for Hope, despite the fact that Brooke is now also in a leadership position. Now let's talk about what's coming July 22nd through the 26th on Bold and the Beautiful. So Sheila is in the LAPD's crosshairs thanks largely to unfounded accusations by Li and Steffy. Basically, for Li and Steffy, it's those two guys died of the same drugs. They both work with Sheila. Sheila's done bad things in the past. It must be Sheila. Now, Steffy is always willing to believe the worst of Sheila, granted, but Li Finnegan, Li hates her. And I still have this feeling that Li knows more than she is letting on. Maybe, maybe not. Poppy could be working with Jack. Clearly, there's at least two people I feel like conspiring against Sheila. I feel like it's two, maybe just one, but I feel like it's going to be two. We'll see. And I just wonder if Deacon is going to remain loyal to Sheila or if he's going to have some doubts about whether his wife could have done these terrible things and killed these two friends of his. Hope's fixation with Finn is far from over, and the accusations against Finn's bio mom presents an excuse for them to spend time together talking, despite Steffy's insistence that she doesn't want her anywhere near her husband. Steffy remains very vigilant at the office, very annoyed at Hope still being friends with Finn. If she finds out that Hope is wanting more, oh my gosh, things are going to go nuclear. And the real killer of Tom and Hollis remains unidentified as the investigation focuses on formerly psycho Sheila and what is strictly circumstantial evidence, unless for some reason the person who took those letters hides them in Sheila's apartment. But even so circumstantial, there is not going to be any video of Sheila doing this. There's not going to be any physical evidence on their bodies, anything like that. But that doesn't mean they're not going to hang her anyway. This is about to get messy. Liam prods Finn. The accusations against Sheila get Liam all ramped up again against Steffy's marriage. And he's going to go on about as long as you're with Finn, Sheila's always going to be in your life. And look, here she is. She's done a double murder. You got to get away from this guy. He's going to try and leverage this to drive that wedge back between them. Brooke remains concerned about Hope's crush on Finn. Also, Hope and her potential involvement with her dad's wife drama because of the Sheila thing. No matter what Hope thinks about Sheila, I'm sure she's going to want to be there for Deacon, and Brooke may not like that at all. And of course, Hope's still dealing with her Thomas heartache. Li and Jack Finnegan continue to act suspiciously, and Poppy's erratic behavior is also making Bill Spencer scratch his head. Somebody else had a motive to kill Tom and Hollis, but Sheila had no motive. The Finnegan/Nozawas are the only ones with clear motives, but Sheila is a likely scapegoat, and pressures intensify in this second week for them to lay charges against Sheila, even though I don't think there's going to be substantial evidence. We are on a countdown to Thomas Forrester and Paris Buckingham's return to LA for their wedding. And by the way, Thursday, July 25th is the last day of sweeps. I don't think we are going to get any resolution on this murder plot before sweeps ends, but we might get an arrest, but I don't think it's going to be a valid arrest, an arrest that will stick, an arrest of the actual perpetrator. I really, really hope they gave this some thought and it's better written than I feel like it is. We'll see. Those are all of our early weekly spoilers. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.